Okay, 21 FPS, that's kinda low. It's probably because it's still trying to work. Live starting. Why are we at 21 FPS? That's super low. Fuck it. Let's get in and do this. Alright. Just starting out for the evening, we're going to see how it goes. Make sure everything is on and working properly, but so far, I think, so far so good. So far so good. So yeah. Welcome to anybody who's watching. My name is Strongarm Zed. Tonight we are going to discuss a little bit of psychology and kill some people, because that seems to be the best option whenever you're talking about psychology. You gotta murder, right? Right? Yay! Yeah. No, sociopaths definitely seem to go hand in hand with any time you are discussing psychology. It's usually the first thing people think about, because I hate to say it, but it's one of those sexy diseases that the media loves to portray, loves to bring up, and sociopathy is one of those things also that's very greatly misunderstood. Oftentimes, because of movies, people misattribute what a sociopath is for other... Thought I saw somebody for a second. For other diseases. Thought I heard something. Man, I'm getting paranoid. Ooh. Somebody was here. Anyway. Yeah, sociopathy. So, people misattribute things that are not sociopathic behavior to sociopaths. Damn it, just missed. Yeah, being a sociopath doesn't mean that you don't have emotions. I think he jumped right back over. Fuck, I lost him. No, I didn't. Being a sociopath doesn't mean that you don't have emotions. It's just you don't really care about other people's emotions, which is completely different than not having any emotions. When you... I'm sorry, I'm distracted. There is a person on the ground about to die while I'm trying to discuss killing people. How rude is that? At least there's a meat hook right here. Okay, so there's one fishy down. At least we've got one. One fishy down, 3 to go. And usually what happens is when you can use the small bait, you can catch bigger bait. So what we can probably do... Oh, hello, fishy. What we can probably do is lure this fishy around to exactly where we want them to be. It's just tough when it's... Oh, hello, fishy. That's fine. You're not going to save your friend. And actually, that works out, because now I can break that, and now I can turn around. And now I have 2 fishies that are hurt. One of which is going back on the hook in a second. Da-da-da! Here, fishy, 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 fishy! Ah. Sometimes you cast out and you don't catch anything. Alright, gotta orientate myself, see where the nearest hook is. And unfortunately, I think the nearest hook is back where I was at. Oh, nope, maybe that one's the nearest. Let's see. What's closer? You're closer, so we're gonna... Whoop! Steering me into the wall. Sometimes the fish are a lot more powerful than you give them credit for, and next thing you know, they're pulling you off the boat. Alright, so let's get this fishy back on our hook. And then we can continue our little conversation. So, sociopathy. Yeah, so it's not that they don't have any emotions. It's just that they're usually one of the key... Okay, let me back up, because I'm starting to explain this wrong. Okay, so you can have a sociopath that is fully functioning in society, and in fact, you probably work or go to school with a sociopath and you don't realize it. They have friends, they have colleagues, they work well, and oftentimes they actually do succeed. There's a big difference between antisocial personality disorder and sociopathy, or being a sociopath. Granted, I think in the most recent DSM, antisocial personality disorder is one of the like diagnoses that you can place on being a sociopath, but the actual behavior is a little bit different, and I like some of the older definitions a little bit better, but I'm not going to get into the politics of how the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Psychology changes. That's a whole nother topic for another day. Anyway. Where was I going? Oh, yeah, so being a sociopath does not mean that you don't have emotions. It just means that you can't necessarily empathize with other people because you don't really care that other people have emotions. So a great example would be the situation where, let's bring work as an example. So a job opens up, and a position opens up, but it's only for one person to get a promotion. A sociopath would be much, much more likely to use cutthroat behavior at the expense of someone else to get that job. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to hurt anyone. It doesn't mean that they're going to do illegal activity. It just means that they are much more willing to have another person potentially suffer or hurt in exchange for self-benefit and self-gain. And it gets tricky from there because you have a lot of different degrees. Like, just because you're a sociopath does not make you a murderer. It's a very common misconception that somebody that is a sociopath is going to do physical harm or illegal activity towards somebody else, and that's quite frankly not the case at all. This little fishy is being a little bit tough to catch. But that's okay, they're in the area, which means that I'm going to catch at least one of them. And thankfully, there's my fishy. Trade one for the other. Anyway. So, yeah, so I think that's enough on sociopathy. I kind of started ranting on that. It's one of those things where it's just very misunderstood, and I was going to say I take offense to it, but that kind of makes me sound like I have a personal investment in it, when really I don't. But it's one of those things where I take it personally that the media misportrays, really heavily misportrays, a lot of these diseases. Some of them are even glorified. Like, I could even have this whole talk about depression and how it's almost sexy to have, like, a depression diagnosis nowadays, and the new DSM has, like, 50 different versions of depression that you could potentially diagnose. But before I go any further, I should also mention that I am not I'm not a clinical psychologist. I do not treat people, nor can I legally diagnose anyone. So anything I say during this conversation, please take with that in mind. I am a researcher, so anything that I do is theory-based. I have worked in clinical settings as an undergraduate, strictly, so I've never been in an actual treatment situation. But yeah, I just figured I'd put that little disclaimer out there because I don't want it to come across as though I'm trying to treat or diagnose or suggest that I know better than practicing clinicians. What I can discuss is the theory, because the trouble with the theory meaning, well, anyway, at least I caught two fishies. Anyways, theory meaning the research and so forth behind it. That doesn't necessarily mean, ooh, and there's a Pokemon, I'm sorry. Playing a little bit of Pokemon Go in my spare time, so it seems that I gotta catch me a Pokemon at the moment. Yeah, so the theory behind it is much more complicated, because what you end up having is you have this like political strife where you can have the policy drive, or I'm sorry, you can have the research drive policy, but then you have the policy influenced by politics, And when the research starts to try to influence the policy, they conflict. And what you get is this weird kind of mishmash of research and policy that's basically being mediated by, or modified would probably be a better way to say that, but modified by the politics involved in it. ADHD is a great example of politics driving policy, and I could definitely have a whole conversation about that if somebody was interested. But I'll leave that for another day. I think right now, see, that's one of those conversations where I'd like to actually start talking about it to a whole group of people to get information out about it, because it really is interesting when you actually starting to get to the details of what is actually happening in a lot of these situations where policy is being influenced by politics, or money is a better way to put it, where money is the driving factor behind a lot of these things. Granted, I'm trying to stay away from the political side, but unfortunately, with a lot of what's done in the field is very heavily influenced by where the money comes from, which means that sometimes you have to shut your mouth and go with what's sexy. Is a good way to put it. That's why you have a bajillion research teams at various institutes and various universities that are all heavily funded for things such as women's depression, postpartum, or, just add a label, dyslexia, or learning disabilities. You have huge department funding for all these things, and then you go into something like schizophrenia, and it's like nobody's working on it, when schizophrenia is arguably a much more, in my opinion, a much more in-demand type field that could use some research and some funding. But yeah, politics and psychology. That's a tough call when you're discussing where the money's coming from and where the money's going. If it's sexy, it's go. Oop, hello, fishy. I always like it when I start a game and there's fishies all over the place, and there's a hook right there. That's even better. Come here, fishy. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. That's fine. I'm gonna let him go. Mostly because he's gonna double back on me. And I'm gonna knock those down. He went to the left. Well, I hear him. Yeah. He's still nearby. I don't hear him anymore. Tricky fishy, tricky fishy. Well, there's him. Come on, fishies. Don't play this game with me. It's gonna run there. Damn it. I was hoping I'd be able to smack him. That's okay. A lot of this is all about points, and plus I really just want to talk about things that I'm discussing. So, the more they struggle, the more I can talk. Yeah, there's a lot of things that end up happening when you start bringing in money into the mix, and what actually is getting the attention, and whether or not it actually deserves the attention that it's getting. Money is such a tricky thing. If you look at any of the big public institutes, I'm not even going to go into the issue of some of the private institutes and where their money comes from, but if you look at some of the big public institutes and you start to realize where that dollars are, or rather how many dollars are going towards how many different things or specific things that really don't deserve that kind of funding, in my opinion, it gets really tricky. And I need to at least catch one fishy, so let's focus on our fishies. Alright, and there was a hook over here, so let's put our fishy on our hook, like so, and then we can then we can consider what it is we're going to do next with our conversation. If anybody has any questions, do feel free to ask. Bring up anything. I'm certainly here as a resource, I guess is the best way to put it. I could certainly answer just about anything related to psychology or killing, in this specific case. Yeah, I think psychology is a very, not misrepresented, but underrepresented area on YouTube, and I figured I could probably, hopefully, fill a gap, and at the same time make it a little bit interesting by playing some games. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes, but so far so good. But yeah, I can rant about this all day. There's so much in the area, in the field. Quitter bonus. I would have got more points if he actually finished being sacrificed. I'm sure he did that on purpose. He knew that he was gonna die and he didn't want. Oh, I did get the points anyway. I swear I heard a door. We'll have to see. It's so tough when the generator's like halfway done, because then it's like, man, did I hear the generator make a squeak, or is it the door, or what the hell is making noise? All of these generators have been worked on, so that makes it difficult to tell where the hell they are. Oh, hey, fishy. All right. Which way are you going? You're going this way. Ah, oh, just missed him. And that hook is gone. That had some trouble. Alright. So that hook is gone. Which means I'm gonna have to try to find another one. And there's not one nearby. Fuck me. In the ass. This one's not horribly far, but it's not horribly close either. He's gonna end up getting dropped. I think I'm... Yep, I knew it. I wasn't gonna make it. But that's fine. He's gonna run. Gotcha! It's always good to follow the blood trail. Word of advice. You never know when the blood trail's gonna lead you to the right spot. But I think I fucked myself because I wasn't able to go around that way. He doesn't really seem like he's struggling all that much, though. So get him on the hook. There's one fishy. Let's break some barriers. Get some points for destroying shit. Yeah, points. This game is definitely about points, because you can kill everybody, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get maximum amount of points. Probably shouldn't take a drink in case somebody runs up, but fuck it. Start talking for a while and the throat starts to get dry. Check my Pokemon. See, when they do that shit, they're trying to lure you away. When they purposely blow the generator. That was, I think, a completion, but still. Catch him. Multitasking. I'm having a conversation about psychology, playing goddamn Pokemon Go, and killing people. I definitely heard a door. Just don't know where. Or it could just be my imagination. I might not really be hearing doors. I'm hearing doors in my head. Probably hearing doors in my head. They only need one more generator. And they got it. I think I can, ooh, yeah, I definitely saw somebody walk by. I think I can get one more person. If I can get a clear shot. Yeah. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Would have been better if I did that with the chainsaw, but that's okay. Let them try to run away. At least I hit him. And I think we're pretty close to the basement here, so let's pick him up. Probably not going to be able to... Oh, actually, I'll go to this one. That one's really close. Probably not going to be able to get that fourth person, but that's fine. 3 fishies is good enough for my freezer today. Can't be greedy sometimes. Can't be greedy. 3 fishies last me about a month of good solid amounts of meat. Figure each one of these people about maybe $1.40, $1.50. It's a good amount of meat. Anyway, yeah. So that's about that sums that up pretty well. I'm not 100% sure where else to go about without going too much into detail about the politics. To go back to the policy research, the weird paradox that's going on with that. It's disappointing, to say the least, though. It would be really nice if need drove policy and need drove research rather than how attractive something is, because schizophrenia is just one example of many different things where, yeah, you have a clear need for funding and for help for a lot of different people, but what ends up happening is it's just not, and I really, again, I hate to phrase it like this, but it's not a sexy enough disease. It doesn't, you can't make a billboard out of schizophrenia, because it's just, it wouldn't look pretty. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that whether or not you can make an ad campaign about something, and how much funding it gets based on that ad campaign, or how relatable it is. Like, schizophrenia is not necessarily the most relatable disease in that it's not as common as, say, a learning disability, but oftentimes you end up having overdiagnoses in school systems for funding. Well, that's a whole topic and conversation unto itself. That actually could be good. Hear entity whisper when standing within... Yeah, I might have to do that. Let's change our loadout and put that little whisper thing on there, because that sounds pretty good. Be able to hear some survivors near me. So again, if anybody has any questions, comments, what have you, do feel free to mention it, because I am monitoring the chat if anybody has anything to say. And I am at your disposal. Consider me a resource for anything that you want to know about. Yay! Otherwise, I'm just going to keep ranting. I'm just going to keep catching fishies and ranting about killing people and ranting about sociopaths for the time being. Yeah, sociopathy. I think I beat that horse enough for now. I could definitely go much more into detail, but I think I'll save that for another day when people actually might have questions about it, because it is a very complex area to try to just randomly rant on without having a specific point that I'm getting to. Yeah. Otherwise, though, so far so good. Check my phone for a second. Yeah, it's tough, though. It's tough. Policy driving, or research driving policy, but money is the big influence. You can even see that way in the way papers are accepted. When it comes to research, there's a big issue when it comes to what gets accepted into research journals, so things that actually print the research that's actually been done. And one of the troubles that I've found in my experience is you're like 10 times more likely to get published if you get positive results, meaning you proved something occurs, rather than trying to get something published that shows you're disproving something, or that you found something didn't occur. And while it might make sense on an intuitive level to say, oh, well, you prove something happens, that's important. Well, yes, but it also could be very much important, or just as important, if not more important, to publish something that shows something doesn't occur. And a good example of that, and I'm speaking hypothetically here because I'm just pulling something out of my ass. I'm not actually sharing anything about any research that I'm aware of, but let's say you have, going back to the clinical treatment, because that's a good way. Let's say you have a whole huge design study, and it ends up coming out that whatever treatment that you thought would work, or you theorized would work, you tried it, and it actually showed to have no effect whatsoever, and in some cases proved to be detrimental. A study like that would be extremely hard to publish because you did not get positive results. You didn't get results that showed something good occurred, or you didn't get results that showed your theory was correct. And you would think that you would be able to get something like that published to show, hey, this doesn't work, but it doesn't. It just doesn't happen. So what you might have end up happening as a result of something like that not publishing is somebody might try it down the road, not realizing that it was tried before, and there's more harm done because of it. And it's really sad to see journals being really selective about wanting, like, oh, we did this and this is how it happens and it's great. You don't see these negative results that can sometimes be even more important than the positive results. Yeah, another issue with things got to be sexy. It's great when a journal can post something, or post an article that shows we just found the cure for cancer, compared to posting something that says we just found something that has no effect whatsoever in treating cancer. Granted, I have nothing to do with cancer research, but it's pretty much the same across all journals, I imagine, not just oh, hello, fishy. Not just psychology journals. So this little thing here is Meg, and the trouble with Meg is she got some boost. She can run really fast, and it's really hard to get lost or lose. I'm hearing whispers. So she's nearby. Oh. I see. Is that how you really feel? Calling me a pogue. Okay, so the counterintuitive thing to do in this case is to run into the basement, because this is my area. So odds are she ran into the basement, because I hear whispers, which means that she's nearby. Where the fuck is this bitch? Did I, like, overlook her? She's still here. I checked all these things, right? What the fuck? How did I lose this chick? Probably hearing whispers because they're right outside the goddamn door. Alright. Follow the blood trail. Oh, there they are. Lost sight of them. Did I run the wrong way? Totally ran the wrong way. Man, I'd been doing great, and now I'm not doing so hot. Still hearing whispers, which means somebody's nearby, but I don't know where they are. And it's distracting me from the conversation that I wanted to have. Which is unfortunate, because when you're talking about money and politics and research and how things get published, for example, I think this is important stuff that a lot of people don't realize. Yeah, it's definitely under-commented upon. Alright, bitch. That's enough games. Going to the basement. Sometimes you just gotta take a mallet to a woman and drag her into the basement. I do not endorse that at all. It's just, sometimes I need to keep my mouth shut. Anyway, there's one fishy caught. One fishy. Now I just need 3 more fishies. And the unfortunate thing is, I'm pretty sure that somebody's going to try to make a run for her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and watch, because if they try to be sneaky and go around, yeah, then we'll be able to see them. So as I was saying about research, yeah, it's really hard to get negative results published, or results that don't confirm your hypothesis. And there's actually, as a result of that, there's even a lot of issues lately, well, not just lately, I'd say within like the past 10 years, with people faking results in order to get published, because they know that you have to have like a positive confirmation of whatever your hypothesis was in order to get published. So you have people just doing research and then claiming whatever the research showed is actually what they hypothesized was going to happen. And things like that get dangerous, because then you have people just arbitrarily doing research and not really having anything in mind as to what they're trying to achieve. And it results in... I'm definitely hearing doors, but I don't know where the fuck it is. Anyway, it results in bad research, because you have the drive to get published overreaching the drive to actually do good research. Yeah. And I don't know where the fuck anybody is. Well, I killed one person, so that's it's better than no people. This wasn't the best of games, but I was a little distracted with my conversation, and I'm gonna just keep making excuses as to why I didn't kill more people. Oh, bitch. Well, I wounded a fishy. But I didn't kill a fishy. What I can do, though, is I can sit right over here, and when the fishy pops their head around, I can capture them. It's like a little net. We'll see if any more fishies comes, because there's still 2 more wandering around. I'm hearing whispers of the entity, which means somebody is nearby. I don't want to wander too far. Well, that'll work. Tell me where you are. Here, fishy. Alright, so the fishy ran this way. Good to see. Ah, probably escaping fishy. Damn it! Oh well. That was a good attempt. It's so hard to control that chainsaw when you start sprinting. It goes and you have no idea where the fuck it's going. I think there's some perks that you can use to actually try to make the chainsaw more controllable. Oh man, I didn't do horrible, but I did pretty bad. It's tough, man. It's tough when you end up getting into a game and you just don't know what you're going to be seeing. You don't know how good the players in the other team are going to be. Azerov's key. Of course. Why not? Let's check our loadout real quick, because I realize that I'm probably not using things that I should be. Yeah, we'll increase that. And we'll chainsaw cooldown. No. We want increases reach. Yeah. We'll do that. And we already put that on, so let's jump into another game, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so thank you guys that are watching. I would like to say that. I see there are 2 people watching, so thank you. And do feel free to ask questions. I am a resource here for anything psychology or murder related, as the case may be. And just because I'm playing this doesn't mean that I can't focus my mind on other things. Strangely, I find murder very calming. uh, Yeah, so where was I going before? So I keep somehow circling around back to politics, and I'm trying not to focus on politics of the topics that I'm discussing. But it's so hard. It's so hard not to end up going back to politics because so much about psychology and research in general is just politically driven. Uh, you have mental health is a big thing that you hear politicians nowadays talking about, like, oh, we need more mental health structure, and it's like, oh, well, throw money at it, but that's not going to save. It's like that's not going to save people. It's not going to help people if you just arbitrarily throw money at different programs. Certainly, funding helps, but it's all about resource allocation and where the money goes. Uh, I've already kind of touched on that a little bit when it comes to how money ends up getting allocated to the sexy projects. It's got to be sexy. There's definitely some controversial topics that I can touch on this, and I'll bring up one just because it puts things into perspective. There's whole departments, like literally whole departments, devoted to bulimia and anorexia research. Is it important? Certainly. I mean, there are a lot of people that are affected by bulimia and anorexia, but I would argue that it's nowhere near as important as a lot of other. I'm hearing this voice in it. I'm hearing voices. I would say that it's nowhere near as important as a lot of other areas that could be researched. And the trouble there is, it's not sexy to research some of these things. Again, I'll bring up schizophrenia, where schizophrenia just doesn't get the funding or the attention that it desperately needs because it's not sexy. Whereas if you talk about something that's oppressing women, it's like, ooh, yeah, we could put that on a poster and sell it to people and make it sound really horrible. And it is horrible. But it's one of those things where it's like, what... And I hate to take the utilitarian approach from it, but it's like, what's affecting more people? A great example of that is, and again, I'm not at all trying to discredit the genuineness and the need for help in a lot of these diseases, like anorexia nervosa and bulimia. But for another good example is like breast cancer. You have an entire breast cancer month. But the amount of... Oop, hello, I saw you, fishy. The amount of people that actually die from breast cancer compared to a lot of other cancers is really fucking small. Not to say that breast cancer isn't important, or that it's crucial for research to occur in that area, but the fact that it draws so much attention is a little bit incredible when you really think about, like, how many people are actually dying of breast cancer compared to, say, lung cancer or heart disease or all these other things. And yeah, you can make the argument that, you know, you have a whole bunch of attention for that. Oh, hello. God damn it. Oh, that works. Not what I was intending to do, but I totally lost sight of where they went. So maybe that wasn't that good. But I think somebody went inside. Fuck me. I'm doing really good the first couple matches, and now I'm doing like garbage. Fuck, I wasn't even next to it. Oh man, I need to focus a little bit. Start getting me talking about anorexia and I start getting heated. Ah, fuck, bitch doubled back on me. It's okay. God damn it, where did she go? I don't even know if I'm going to catch one fishy this time. I was doing really fucking good, and then what happens? I start screwing it all up because I start getting all heated about goddamn research funding. That's what ends up happening when I start thinking about this. Politics, man. Why's it gotta be politics? It's the bureaucracy. I am not condoning at all socialist systems, but I do gotta say, you start driving policy based on what the people are doing. Fuck! God damn it, fishies. Well, I'm gonna get some points for this, but nowhere near as much as I need. Come on, fishy. I see you crouching right there. There you go. There's one fishy, finally. God damn, so many fishy. And there's a hook over here. Alright, at least I'm gonna catch one fishy this time. It's better than no fishy. We'll see how well I'm able to do. Whether or not I'm able to catch two. Because I'm right next to a door. So I'm inclined to say that they're going to try to come this way, and whether or not they actually try to save her is another question. At the very least, I'll catch one fishy, and then I can get back to talking about sexy diseases and how they get all the funding, and the need isn't there for diseases that could need funding. Fuck, man. Hit me with the thing. At least I know she's nearby. I'm sure she's still crouching over here. Ah! Fuck! Just missed. She got lucky. She got lucky. And there's one more fishy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna again stand over here and try to see if I can lure some fishies down this little trap here. Because there's a fishy nearby. I hear them. Absolutely hear them. Where they are is the question. Come on, fishy. Try to come my way. Ah, damn it. Oh well. Killed one. It's better than none. And I was talking about research funding for, yeah, how the sexy diseases are the ones that get the big funding. I could continue on with that, but if anybody has any questions or any direction as to where they would like to hear me discuss, otherwise I'm just going to keep talking about how bureaucracy plays a part in driving funding on how these different diseases and so forth end up getting the high dollars. It's very unfortunate, but that's just what it is. Yeah. We'll see, though. We'll see what the future brings. Unfortunately, the more bureaucracy that ends up going in to I want to say the university. Get your ass to Mars. Bitch, I'm on Mars. Where do you think I'm broadcasting from? I'm Matt Damon, and this is Mars. Yeah. Oh, so speaking of Mars, this is completely off topic, but it just popped into my head. I am a very firm believer that within the next 10 to 15 years, we are going to end up having a Mars race. And I should clarify on what I mean by that. Kind of like in how the 60s there was the moon race. I kind of feel like within the next 10 to 15 years there's going to start being another space race to who can get somebody to Mars. And a lot of that I think has to do with pride. Countries try to take a lot of pride in what they're doing and try to one-up everybody else. And with Russia starting with posturing and America posturing back. I think it's going to start another space race. Some people would argue that it might start another arms race, which is certainly possible, but I feel like, given the fact that America's been involved in a 10-plus year war, that the arms race is pretty well over. There's not much more that could end up occurring with that. But we'll see. I fucking lost her. She went this way. There she is. Hey, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Yeah, so speaking of space race, I want to knock this guy to the fucking moon. If I could fucking find him. He lost me. Goddamn. How the fuck did that happen? Waste of money. I agree that it would be a waste of money. But look at how much billions of dollars the government wastes on random-ass projects as it is. I could count on fucking... Well, I was going to say I could count on both hands how many projects are just a waste of money. But it's way more than just what I could count on two hands. Don't know where she went, but she was this general direction. Fuck. These cornfields, they get confusing. And I still hear entity whispers, which means she's somewhere nearby. Survivor found. I didn't even fucking see anybody. Some horse shit. Oh, there we are. Gotcha, bitch. Okay, where was I? I'm far ass away from a fucking hook. That's where the fuck I am. God damn it. She's gonna end up getting dropped. Try to bring her to the basement. So yeah, an arms race, a space race. I think it would be a total waste of money, but it's not unheard of. It's certainly not unheard of for that to occur. Yeah. There's just so much going on in the world right now that is pointing to something happening. And fuck, I wouldn't even be surprised if Iran got involved. I was reading something the other day saying Iran is trying to, or successfully, or something like that, about launching satellites into space. And for people that discredit a lot of these, like, random, I don't want to say third world countries, because I wouldn't classify Iran as a third world country by any standards, but people who classify, or discredit a lot of these other countries, haven't traveled the world enough to realize that it's all about perspective. Certainly America has a very wealthy civilization, but there's a lot of countries that have a rather poor population, but a very wealthy government. And that's kind of what's going on in Iran, where you have very prosperous, what's the word I'm looking for? Very prosperous suburbs and major cities, and yet you end up going in and looking at what it is these countries are doing government-wise, and you realize how much fucking money they're actually spending on little government pet projects. But that's all I'll leave on that. Man, I'm trying to stay away from politics, and what the fuck is happening? I'm talking about politics. Yeah, it's a tough situation once you get into politics, because politics, bureaucracy, it has its hands in everything. And there's nothing that gets away from politics. And there's fishy over here, I just don't know where. If I back away, make the fishy think I left, then hopefully the fishy will go to the door. Or at least that's what I'm gonna hope and attempt to do. I don't know if I'm far enough away or not. I got one fishy, and it's a start. It's not the ideal amount of fish to catch. I lost my audience. I didn't really have much of an audience anyway, so losing one people... Well, I guess if you want to look at it percentage-wise, I lost like 75% of my audience. But yeah, no, that's the thing about having a small channel like this, and in a lot of ways, I kind of enjoy having a smaller audience where I can talk one-on-one to people, and I don't have to deal with a bajillion people trying to catch my attention. Not to say that I wouldn't like more people, but at the same time, there's definitely a lot of perks to having a one-on-one conversation with somebody, and having the ability to have a one-on-one conversation with people. Which is why I'm encouraging people to ask questions. Pick my brain. I can certainly answer a lot of different things regarding how policy is driving psychology, or just psychology theory in general. Again, I am not a... Oh, I thought I saw somebody. Anyway, again, I am not a clinical psychologist, so I can't comment specifically on treatments or suggest treatments in any sense, but there is enough policy or enough research that drives policy and drives practice that I could certainly answer questions related to the theory behind the different things that are being done. Yeah, I figured they all ran away. Well, I killed one person. That's to start. It's not too bad, not too shabby. It's not as good as I would prefer it to be. Also, I realized, I think, before I continue on, I think my sound might be a little too high compared to my voice, so I'm going to crank that down a couple. Just so it's easier to hear me. I don't know if there are any audio issues, but just to try to be courteous. We're moving on up. I think we've moved up like 3 levels on this. I don't usually play the killer, so my killer level over here is only level 7, which is pretty damn low, all considering I usually don't play killer. I usually play as a survivor, so don't judge me for my low level killer. I think I'm holding my own pretty damn well, considering I am only level 7. So yeah, pick my brain. Ask me questions. If anybody wants to know anything about how things become published, produced, how research is done, or have any questions about psychology in general, and I very loosely and tentatively say this, but I can't even offer... I cannot offer treatment advice, but I can answer questions related to suggesting how to go about getting the right, I don't want to say treatment because that's not what I'm trying to portray, but how to get the right, man, fuck, I can't think how to phrase this, the route to go to get treatment that you may or may not need, or the route to go if you think you have a certain condition, or just having information about a condition that you're curious about. And again, there's so much more to psychology other than the actual clinical side of things. Certainly clinical psychology is what most people think of when they think of a psychologist. Somebody sitting at a chair, somebody laying down on a couch and somebody sitting in a chair behind him with a notepad, but that's not psychology. Well, yes, it is psychology, but I mean, that's not the only thing about psychology. There's all sorts of different kinds of psychology, and like what I do, for example, is social psychology. I study why somebody does something, or what causes somebody to do something. And that may or may not have anything to do with clinical psychology. A good example is research related to like why people radicalize, why people become extremists, and so forth. And there's a lot of theories on that, and a lot of good research on that. But it has nothing to do with clinical psychology. Like, it doesn't touch how to treat that person at all. It's just looking at signs and not symptoms, but signs of why somebody might radicalize. Or why somebody would go through the woods with a goddamn sledgehammer with a fucking chainsaw and start chasing people down. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing at that, but I am. Fuck, and I meant to charge more. That's fine. I wish you went to the basement, because that would have been even easier. At least we're near the basement. If I can get one good whack at him... Oh, hello. All I need is one good whack. He's gonna go back inside. Oh, he went around. Did he? Fuck! There he is. God damn it, I missed him. I should have stayed chasing the guy, because the guy's injured. I got greedy. Somebody working on this generator right here? Wow. And I fucking hit the tree. It's okay. Man. Doing a whole bunch of chasing and not a lot of killing. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Take a breath. I've got this. I can handle this. I can do this. Keeps breaking my conversation from what I'm trying to say, though. Yeah, so... Where was I? I was talking about, What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the different kinds of psychology. So there's a whole bunch of different kinds of psychology. It's not just clinical, but I could certainly comment and talk about those kinds of things. The world of psychology is so much bigger than a lot of people realize, and I think it's important for people to understand how large and how encompassing it actually is, and how many things that psychology looks at in everybody's day-to-day lives. Yeah, it's all about understanding what people do and why they do it. And there's so many implications to understanding that, because if you can understand behavior, if you can understand why somebody does something, or how somebody does something in a specific situation, it opens up all these different doors to understanding how to prevent bad behavior. Voight comp test. That's one way. That's certainly an interesting route to take. I'm not personally a fan of Nazi Germany, but not to say that the Nazis didn't come across some very interesting things. Which is a whole other issue unto itself. Ethics. A lot of the things that end up getting quoted, like for anybody that's taken a basic gen psych class, you end up learning about all sorts of studies that were conducted in like the 60s and 70s that now would be absolutely completely unheard of to do because of ethics violations, and yet those are the studies that end up getting quoted, because those are the studies that came out with important need-to-know information. And the trouble there is you start walking such a horribly fine line between what's ethical and what actually needs to be done to learn something. I'm very much of the camp that I think ethics need to be loosened up a little bit in order to allow for more studies to occur. The way that research goes now is it's almost like something gets banned just for hurting somebody's feelings, when before, granted, before it was much more willing to cause physical issues to people in the name of research, and I agree that physical things shouldn't be done, but I also think that it should not be a disqualifier if somebody's feelings get hurt. And there are some like minor ways around it, like when it comes to making sure you apologize correctly, or random things of that nature. But it gets tricky. It gets really tricky. Fucking bitch. God damn it, now I'm gonna lose both of them. Which way'd she go? I didn't even fucking see. Fuck. Fuck. You're shitting me. Okay, there's some trails. There's some trails. If I was the killer, or if I was the victim, I'd probably hide in the corner. God damn it. lost him. Had somebody on the goddamn hook, and I lost him. And there's the door. And it's opening. So that means they're gonna escape. And they ran away. Fuck! God damn it. Well, I didn't do too good that time. Here I am trying to have a conversation and talk to you people, and I did shitty. Disgraceful defeat. But you know what? That's okay. I'd rather enlighten some people than get points. Where's my mouse? Oh lord. Lost my mouse. Hello. Fuck. That's no good. That's one of the problems with this game is in early alpha. And, there it goes. Still quite buggy. I'm actually kind of surprised it didn't crash yet. Not that I'm hoping that it crashes, but it's definitely one of the issues that commonly occurs with this game. It gets troublesome at times. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, anything they would like to know about, again, I am here. I am a resource. Pick my brain. Let me know what you want to hear about. So yeah. Bureaucracy. It gets to be very much troublesome. And I don't quite remember where I was going at with that. So we'll leave it there. Well, let's start another rant. I'm very much of the camp that, ethics, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, I'm very much of the camp that things need to be loosened up a little bit. A prime example is, like, you had Stanley Milgram in the, I believe it was the 50s and 60s. His research spanned a very wide berth of time. So you often have, like, his first study is the one that's quoted, where, for those that aren't familiar, the Stanley Milgram study was basically post-World War II, during the Nuremberg trials, one of the common responses from soldiers, lower ranking officers, and enlisted members who did very, very horrible things. One of the common responses was, well, I was just following orders. And Stanley Milgram thought that that was an absolutely ridiculous notion, and he wanted to show that sound, upstanding citizens in America would not ever do anything like that. So what he did was he did these experiments where he wanted to test authority and the influence that authority would have on people. So as a result, hey, there's a fishy nearby. So as a result, what he did is he set up a situation where you had sorry, I'm looking for a person. So he had a situation where he had somebody at the university play the role of the experimenter, who was completely in on everything, and they had a script that they had to read from. And then they had a confederate, which a confederate is somebody that is posing as a participant in the study, when really they are completely in on the study and know everything that's going on, and usually have a specific role that they're going to fill. Anyway, getting sidetracked in the details when the details are not necessarily as important as the actual meat and bones here. So anyway, so what he did is he set up this this test where what he wanted to show was that Americans, middle to upper class Americans, would not just follow orders blindly to do something heinous. So he set up this situation where, I thought I saw something. He set up a situation where a person came in to conduct this study, and they thought that they were just a participant in the study, and they would, oh fuck, they're all there, and they would come in and, oh fuck, hold on, give me 1 second, I have people to kill. So they would come in and conduct this study, and they didn't know what it was about, other than that they thought that they were going to do something. They were told that they were going to be doing a study about learning, and they drew lots out of a hat, which it was rigged. The real participant was always going to be the participant, And they drew lots out of a hat, so the participant was told that they were going to be the... fuck, where'd he go? They're told that they were going to be the experimenter, and that they were going to have to administer shocks to the participant, who was the other person that had drawn lots, but was a Confederate, so they were in on it, and they were taken into separate rooms, and only talking to each other through a microphone. And the person who was chosen to be the experimenter, or the real participant, was then informed that they were going to conduct this study, and every time the participant, or the Confederate, got a wrong answer, they were going to deliver a shock to them. And, oh man, throw it down. Come on, bitch. Anyway, so the way it was designed was that the Confederate was going to get them all right for a while, and then intentionally get one wrong. Now, since they were a Confederate and they were in on it, there was actually no real shocks being delivered. Man, I'm trying to focus on chasing this person at the same time, not fuck up completely. Anyway, so... oh man, give me 1 second, I'm trying to focus on this. I just want to kill one fishy, goddammit. I just want one little fishy. That's all. At least I'm getting points for breaking every one of these goddamn barriers, but I want a kill. Is it so hard to ask for one goddamn kill? Fuck, and I think I lost her. Fuck. This chick is good. I don't know what... I'm trying to focus in, and this chick is good. I'm getting a shit ton of chase points, though. Goddamn. And I lost her. And I lost her. Fuck me. Anyway, okay, so... Stanley Milgram. So anyway, so the person that was chosen to be the experimenter then would go and... saying I found somebody, but I don't fucking see anybody. There you are. Hold that thought. We've got bitches to kill. There we go, finally. Fuck me. At least I'll have one kill. Alright, and thankfully I think I'm near the basement, right? Yeah. Alright, so we're going to take this person to the basement, and then I can actually explain more about Stanley Milgram. So anyway, so Stanley Milgram, his study, so where was I? Right, so the person that was the experimenter, the real participant in the study, would then begin to administer shocks to the Confederate. And long story short, because I've already kind of explained this longer than I intended to anyway, what would then happen is they would get to a point where the Confederate would say something to the effect of, what the fuck? Something to the effect of, okay, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, I have a heart condition, I need to stop, I don't want to keep going, and the teacher, or the person in the white lab coat in the room, would then tell the Confederate, the experiment demands that you continue. And they would keep going until... and there was a voltage meter, I should mention that too. There was a voltage meter, like showing the voltages on how much shock the person was supposedly giving. Fuck. Here I am, trying to explain this shit. And I'm not even gonna get one goddamn kill. Fuck, I just missed her. Alright, focus. I need to stay on the dude because he was injured. And I bet they're running out. I don't believe it. I might have lost it. Might have fucking lost it. I can't believe that. God damn it. Anyway. So, Stanley Milgram. So, trying to backtrack and think where I was. So, what ended up happening is, long story short, they wanted to see if the participants would keep going to the point where they essentially killed the other person. Because the teacher, or the person in the wet lab coat, would keep telling them, the experiment demands you continue. If they protested, they would keep saying, you have to continue. And fuck me. Anyway, they would keep saying, you have to continue. And yeah, what they ended up showing is consistent. Hey, how's it going, JTH? How are you? Do I need a moderator? I don't have that many people in the room at the moment, but you are certainly welcome to assist. So thank you. Yeah, you can certainly moderate whatever the hell you want to moderate. So far, I've been talking about Stanley Milgram's experiment and his experiment on authority. Rather than backtrack for the people that's already been here, I'll continue from where I was at. So yeah, so what would end up happening is they consistently showed in various studies that about 66%, so about 2/3 of the people, would go all the way to the point where they would murder the other person. Obviously, it wasn't really murdering them. It was all set up that way to make it seem as though they were killing somebody. But by all intents and purposes, the person that was in the experiment thought that they were killing the other person. And whenever they were asked afterwards, they did pretty much use the same blame that the Nazis used, where it's just like, hey, I'm following orders. So Milgram was completely shocked by this, like absolutely shocked by these results. Because he thought that, yeah, JTH, hold on, I'm going to finish this match and then I'll see what I can do. So yeah, so he was completely shocked by these results because he thought that, upstanding Americans, there was no way that they would be able to do that, that they would go to the extent of actually murdering somebody. But instead, throughout different studies, they showed that consistently about 2/3 of people would go to the point where they actually did. Oh, fuck me, goddamn. I did horrible this match. But that's fine. Had a good conversation. They showed that consistently about 2/3 of the people would, in fact, go all the way to murder. And when they changed it, when they changed the scenarios, they tried it to see, even if it was in, man, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, they tried to change it to see if it was just the fact that it was taking place in a university, that is what was causing these people to go so far. And they changed it to be like in the shady part of town, and they still showed consistently the same results. What they also did is that they changed it up to try to make it to where they would make it where, thinking that maybe it was because there was the different rooms that the people were in, they tried to change it to where the Confederate and the participant were side by side, and the Confederate was actually acting out as though they were dying. And they also found pretty much the same 2/3 results in that case, where even physically, when the people were side by side, the participant would essentially kill the other person. And what it really showed, and it shook up the psychology field, because it showed that the average person, or at least about 2/3 of the average people in America, would be willing to go all the way to the point of murdering somebody. There were a few situations where that, and another theory too was that women wouldn't do this, but the results were consistent there too with women as well, and where it's about 2/3 across the board, regardless of whoever you're talking about, that would go to the point of killing somebody. Now, where it also ended up getting tongue-tied, where it would also have an interesting effect is in certain situations it would reduce. They did it in like shady parts of town with somebody that didn't really have an authority figure type uh, personality to them, and it was without that pressure. And without that pressure, it dropped to about one third, which is still considerable. I think they did have some studies, I'd have to double check, that did go to around like 20% that went all the way to killing the other person, but consistently they found a lot higher number than what they thought they would ever get, actually getting to the point where they would kill somebody. And the argument of, hey, I was just following orders, stayed consistent. Now, to go to my whole point of that, to wrap it back around about ethics, that study could not ever, even minor iterations or reproductions or changes to it, could not ever be conducted in today's atmosphere when it comes to research. And yet, that study, that one study, is one of the most quoted studies in all of psychology. I think Stanley Milgram is one of the first people you learn about in a gen psych class now. And that's telling. That's telling when you have research that is literally the epitome of what you learn not being able to be conducted. And it's funny because whenever they start teaching it, they always start it off with a disclaimer of like, oh, well, this is what we learned, but you can't ever do this, and it was wrong to ever have done this. And it's like, well, okay, you hurt their feelings, but you didn't actually hurt anybody. Sure, you might have stressed them out a little bit, but the gains, the benefits of what was learned from that are so huge, and in my opinion, outnumber any of the negatives that that individual may have suffered. Did he backtrack? He backtracked, that motherfucker. That individual may have learned, or that individual may have suffered as a result. Yeah. Ooh, somebody's screaming. I'm gonna get silent for a second while I try to track this guy down. He's nearby. I know he is. Yeah, he's definitely nearby. There he is. Anyway. So yeah, so something like that could never, ever be done in today's psychology, and it's unfortunate because I don't see a reason why somebody can't have their feelings hurt or have a little bit of stress at the expense, or not at the expense, but at the benefit of learning so much. Another prime example is Dr. Zimbardo. Dr. Zimbardo out of Stanford. And for those of you that don't know what Dr. Zimbardo did, was he did the epic Stanford prison experiment. Now, the Stanford prison experiment, I'll make this a lot faster of an explanation than the Milgram studies, but anyway, the Stanford prison experiment was basically putting people into the roles of a prisoner and a guard, and they wanted to see if those roles would bring about aggressive or demeaning behavior from the guards and passive, essentially submissive behavior from the prisoners. And there were advisors that helped train the guards that had been in prison and seen the behavior and so forth. And there was some egging on, and it ended up resulting in essentially torture of the prisoners, and they ended up having to cancel the study early because it was supposed to be a 2-week-long study, and they ended up canceling after, I believe, 6 days or 4 days. I don't know. It was really short. Like they couldn't let it go any longer. And this was before ethics were really a big thing, or ethics limitations were really that much of a big thing. So it was the experimenters themselves, Zimbardo himself, who was like, this went way too far. But it's also one of the most quoted studies in gen psych and so forth that you end up learning about. And again, it's one of those studies that just can't be run nowadays as a result of these ethics boards. Not to say, again, I want to throw this disclaimer out there, not to say that these ethics boards aren't good and that they do prevent bad things from occurring at times, but at the same time, I think that in recent years, the last 15 or so, things have become too limiting. It's almost as though quality research cannot be conducted. There's only so many ways that you can go in and ask a person, how are you feeling? Or what would you do if you had this hypothetical situation? And it's troublesome because asking somebody to think about a negative experience and then apologizing to them for making them think about a bad thing. It's troublesome because it doesn't add realism to the scenario, to the situation that you're trying to research. Fuck, and I missed. That's okay, she's going out this window. We're gonna backtrack. Did I lose her? No, she went out here. Fuck, I lost her. Anyway, it doesn't add realism to what you're actually trying to research. I've had several ideas that I've tried to run past ethics, and I've gotten shot down and said that I'll never be able to do any of these ideas, and yet, man, that actually, I rescind that because that makes me sound like a psychopath, which I say as I'm playing a game about murdering people and hanging them on hooks. But, yeah, I think one of the biggest things, to wrap it up, is that if you add the bureaucracy and the politics and the hurt feelings aspect into research, it limits the quality of what comes out. And what you end up having is kind of like right now. Sure, you have these groundbreaking things that do end up getting discovered, but a lot of the times you just have these studies where it's just repeats of the same thing. There's only so many ways you can ask a question. There's only so many ways that you can have somebody in their heads think about, whatever scenario you want them to think about. Ooh, hello. There we go. There's only so many ways you can have somebody think about these things. And it's troublesome. It really gets troublesome. I can't even count the times where I've seen people get shot down with very high quality ideas and they'll never be able to do them, and the contributions that could be gained from those ideas and from those theories, and they just won't ever be seen because somebody's sitting there that has nothing to do with research with a clipboard saying, you're going to hurt somebody's feelings and you're going to make them upset for 30 seconds. How could you do that, you horrible person? That makes it sound a lot more condescending than it actually is, but unfortunately, oftentimes that's pretty damn close to the cake of what actually occurs. Wet my throat real quick. Start talking for an hour and it starts to get dry. Anybody have any questions or anything that they would like to ask? Because I'm just going to keep ranting otherwise. I'll give everybody a few seconds to think up any questions before I continue. And for the time being, I'll just I did forget to make you moderator. Yeah, at the end of this match, I will tab out of the game and do so because unfortunately with my software here, I cannot do that in game. I like my software. I'm very happy with it, but at the same time, I'm gonna blame YouTube for the limiting factors. Yeah, YouTube is still new. Actually, YouTube streaming is still in beta, so it doesn't have all the capabilities of, like, say, Twitch. Twitch is huge, and the community in Twitch is so much bigger, and they've definitely broke the ground on how live streaming ends up happening with gaming. And as a result, there's a lot of other people trying to rip it off, YouTube included. A lot of what YouTube is doing is ripped off from Twitch. Not to say that that's a bad thing. But my point is that a lot of these programs, like what I'm using right now to live stream, they don't have the same capabilities in-game that you could do if, say, I was using it on Twitch. But I like YouTube better. It's a much smaller community. It seems much more tight-knit. And it's a lot easier to interact with people, which I also think is great. And it allows me to keep everything all in one place. I can live stream here. I can post my my videos that I'm doing not when I'm not live streaming, and it's all in one place and it's nice and neat and tidy. But the downfall is the limitations, like I said, with software. And I feel like I'm kind of going in circles while I'm looking for somebody. I hear generators blowing, but I don't actually fucking see anybody by the time I get around there. I need to get to the high ground. One of the things that definitely benefits is having high ground, and this map isn't boding too well. Oh man, I hear a generator. Thought I heard a door. Oh, hello. Come here, fishy. I'll take 3 fishies. That's a good number. Yeah, he's not getting away. Figures I say that, and the bitch is gonna get away. Come here, fishy. Alright. As I was saying... yeah, I agree. I think that, I wouldn't necessarily call it unfair. I like that aspect. And the other thing is I think they did a really good job. Oh, fuck, I went down the dead end. God damn it. I forgot that this is the building that, let me put him down. Let me put him down and try to figure out where the fuck a hook is. Is that hook good? No, that one was sabotaged. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, it makes it a lot more challenging, and I like that. I like it because, as what I was about to say is that it makes it so that if you was this, yeah, that was the dead end. Fuck, man, I'm going in circles. I'm getting sidetracked with trying to talk. Anyway, it makes it so that you get good points even for just killing one person. So it makes a win just killing one person. If you kill 4 people, that's fucking fantastic. If you kill 2 people, you know, it's even better. Well, not better than 4, but yeah. Fuck. Yeah, so being the killer isn't necessarily a bad thing if you don't kill all 4. I consider it a win if I can kill 1 person. If I kill more than that, I consider it a great win. And especially when I'm talking like this, I think this game allows for a good format to be able to do these psychology talks, because for one, it's pretty entertaining to watch death and murder and gore, or at least I hope so. Oh well, shit! Insta death. I won. Anyway, it adds a good layer of engagement, because I'm able to actually focus on what I'm trying to say rather than just look around and try to kill people. So anyway, JTH, give me 1 second. I'm going to tab out, so it's going to show up with a BRB screen, so that way I can see about making you a moderator. Okay, and I'm back. I don't know exactly what the whole moderator thing works, but you know what? If you want to do it, fuck, have at it. So, yeah. So that's that. Yeah, I could definitely continue talking about all the things I've been discussing, or I could change to another topic, as the case may be. I'm not too picky. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep ranting about random shit that comes to my mind. After I... Fuck, I don't have enough. Got a random text from somebody that I think was supposed to go to somebody else. Just gonna check something real quick, since it's between games, and because I need to give my voice a break for a second. Okay. Anyway, wanted to look up something real quick. Yeah, this game. I like this game a lot. I think I definitely play it much more on the survivor side. I like the aspect of trying to run and hide. The killer kind of gets pretty straightforward, which is why I think it's better to stream as the killer. It's just run, find somebody, track them down, and hang them on a hook. And I guess you could make the same argument about being the survivor, where it's just go fix a generator and avoid the killer. But it seems like there's a lot more strategy involved in playing as the survivor. From my perspective, at least, it takes a lot more thought than being the killer. As the killer, I can go and oh, hello, somebody. As the killer, I can just go and bullshit my way through it and do pretty damn well while having these conversations. And I like that aspect. I like the aspect of being able to talk. Fuck me. I like the aspect of being able to talk and discuss things while I'm playing the game, because one of the hardest parts about making anything on YouTube, not just live streaming, but content in general, is being able to actually commentate your way through games. It's easy to play, like a lot of people think it's easy to play a game and post it up online, but that doesn't make it good content. That doesn't make it exciting to watch or interesting to watch. And I've definitely found in my relatively short amount of time on YouTube that keeping things interesting is one of the most important things. I could play a game and stare at the screen and not say a word for 10 minutes, and it's just straight up gameplay, but that doesn't mean anybody's going to watch it or anybody's going to get any enjoyment out of it. Whereas if I'm playing a game that's easy to talk over and playing a game that is interesting to watch, then it adds for a much more entertaining experience for everybody involved. Oh, I don't know why, but the chainsaw just makes me laugh every time. There's something about the charge on the chainsaw where it's just like, you know, I'm walking relatively fast, but then you sprint across the whole goddamn map with the chainsaw, and yeah, it's just that much more enjoyable. And I've whacked a few people already, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm gonna have one little fishy. Wow, they gave up. I'm gonna have one little fishy on a hook, and I already have one person injured. And yeah, so far so good this time. Now I just gotta find some more little fishies. So we're gonna go on the high ground. And ooh, hello, somebody's running. Go on the high ground, take a look around, and it usually adds some. Oh, hello, little fishy. Yep, I see you. Fuck, break the goddamn board. Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know if they did that intentionally. I've used a chainsaw before, and while some of them can certainly sound high-pitched like that, they don't all. I don't know how else to describe it. The bigger the chainsaw motor, the beefier it's gonna sound. And this is a pretty goddamn big chainsaw, and instead it sounds like I'm over here riding like a 50cc little, you know, one of those, what are they, the mini bikes. Fuck. Tried to swing at him, and instead it bashed me in the face. Anyway. Yeah, I like the sound, though. I enjoy the sound of the motors, of the, I was gonna say motorcycle, of the, I enjoy the sound of the chainsaw. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the sound, maybe it's the sprint, or maybe it's just the combination, but there's just something about it that just makes me laugh every damn time. And I've tried some of the other killers. I like the Trapper. The Trapper's okay, but I like the Hillbilly the best. It's the chainsaw, the ability to just sprint across the map like that and be able to whack some people. I don't like the Wraith. The Wraith is the one with the bell and the hiding and stuff. And it's okay to hide. It has its perks. You can, do the little hidey hole thing. I don't know. I just don't like it for some reason. The Trapper, I enjoy the Trapper because you can put stuff in the tall grass and whatnot. But then you have the Hillbilly. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. Anyway, yeah, I enjoy the Hillbilly best. The mix between the chainsaw, the weird limp that he does. I don't know, just the whole package. It just makes me laugh. And this probably isn't the game that usually makes people laugh, but I like it. Says the guy who is in the psychology field. Thankfully, and I will reiterate, I am not in clinical psychology. As a disclaimer, I would like to repeat that anything I say is not advice or recommendations as to what anybody should do for treatment. These are just my ideas, my thoughts, my experiences in the psychology world, and my realm is theory. My realm is theory, research, and so on and so forth. And yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that. I agree. I don't like the Wraith. I don't know why, but there's just something about the Wraith that is just not enjoyable to me. I've heard some people say that it's better when you get it to be high levels or higher levels, because then you can like pop in and out of hiding really fast. But it's just not for me. The whole hiding thing and the delay. I wouldn't consider myself an instant gratification kind of person. Somebody's over here. I know they are. Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself an instant gratification kind of person. But at the same time, that delay, like if I'm going to miss hitting somebody, it better damn well be because I genuinely miss them. But if I'm going to miss hitting somebody because I'm too busy trying to pop out of hiding, that's just going to piss me off. I'm a patient man. I can definitely take my time with games, and I can definitely take my time with like with this game, tracking down people, and I can have conversations while I'm doing it. But again, with the Wraith, not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea at all. But on that note, it's time to wet my whistle. As I try to sidestep without actually looking where I'm going. Oh, I hate that. There's one sound that the generator makes as you're walking up to it. And it's like really close to the sound that the doors on the lockers make. Yeah, I agree. The delay when the Wraith uncloaks. There's perks at higher level that make that delay shorter, but still, I don't know. Some people get into it, and don't get me wrong. I've played quite a bit as a survivor, and there's some Wraiths out there that are fucking high speed as shit, where you don't even realize they're there, and bam, they're just out of the cloak, and they're on you, and they're hitting you, and they got to be like damn well close to max level. But I just don't like the style. I don't like the style. I can get into the Trapper. I like the traps. And I think that... Ooh, I saw somebody. And I totally miffed that, but they're still behind the trees, so that's okay. Yeah. I can get into the Trapper, because the gameplay of the Trapper compared to the Hillbilly... Oh, fuck. Is pretty well the same. The only difference is one can set traps and one is the chainsaw. I think the other person is over here, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Both are great, though. I enjoy both. Of the two, I definitely prefer the Hillbilly over the Trapper. But the Wraith, man, I don't like the Wraith. Yeah, most of the times when I play matches as a survivor, I see a lot of trappers. And I can understand why. I think with the Hillbilly, a lot of people don't have the patience to try to be able to predict where somebody's going to go when because you can't really control the chainsaw at all when you're sprinting. It's damn near impossible to control the chainsaw. And a lot of it is trying to get into an open lane and trying to hope that the survivor doesn't actually try to juke out of your way. But it's strategy, and that's I think that's why I like the hillbilly over the trapper, because there's some strategy involved in placing the traps and strategically placing them. Uh, but with the hillbilly, you're actually having to strategize during the hunt, during the chase. You're actually having to stop and figure out. Here, oh, that one's completed. You're actually having to strategize where you're gonna lunge. Yeah, the bear traps. I like it. I bounce back and forth. I think actually I think my trapper is a little bit higher level than my hillbilly. Like I said, I don't really play the killer too much. Other than now that I'm starting this live streaming stuff, I'm gonna be keep hearing with my little perk thing. I keep hearing voices, which tells me that the dude is nearby. I just don't know where. Not there. Anyway, yeah. Now that I'm doing this whole live stream thing, I'm gonna play the killer more. I'm probably gonna play some other games while I live stream, and this isn't gonna be like the only game that I play. But it's a lot easier to talk while I'm the killer compared to the survivor. Not to mention, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. I'm not. Okay, I'm not a bitch. But this game can certainly get under my skin. Like, as the survivor, there's a lot of times where I'm genuinely getting nervous, genuinely getting uptight. The killer's right there, and you know he's coming. And I think that's one of the appeals of this game also. Oh, hello. Now I just need to find a clear shot. But this person's gonna be difficult on me. Thankfully, there's no. Oh, fuck me! God damn it! There's no pallets to throw down. Wanted to break that, but that's okay. I think we have an advantage here. Ooh, a little bit of lag. Whack you once. You can't get too far. And I'll take the points for breaking your shit. Okay. Now, I don't know if there's a hook nearby, because I think that one was used or sacrificed or something, or sabotaged. Yeah, there's no hooks nearby. Fuck. Alright. They're probably going to get away on my way over to this hook, and that's okay. I might just barely make it. And I made it. Okay, so that was a good match. I got 4 out of 4 on that one. I was doing pretty good the first few matches that I played. Yeah, I'll take that win. I certainly need the points. Like I was saying, I usually play the survivor much more than the killer. So I desperately need points for the killer if I'm gonna play this streaming more, because otherwise I'm gonna look like a piece of shit with having no abilities and losing everybody all the time. I mean, I'm of the kind of person where I don't think like winning is the most important thing. Like, you don't have to get like all the people killed in order to count it as a win. I think you look at some of the other YouTubers, for example, some of the big names even, where it's like they're not the greatest gamers. It's just very entertaining to watch, and that's why people watch them, is because people smile and people laugh and people get a kick out of it. It's not watching somebody playing like a greatest hits game, which, granted, though, there are a lot of channels that are devoted to being the best gamer in the world, which, if that's what you're into. But honestly, my idea of what I would like to do... Oh, level 1. That's always good. My idea of what I would like to do with this is to add a little bit of entertainment while discussing some of the interesting things that occur in psychology, discussing just gaming in general, because those are my two biggest things, is I'm interested in psychology and I game in my spare time, so I figured why not throw the two together. And so far it's been interesting. It's been an interesting journey thus far. I'm still figuring out how the path that I want to take is, and how I want to actually execute things. And it's certainly a learning process, but I've enjoyed it so far. I've enjoyed it a lot, and feedback like this. Thank you, JTH, I would like to say, because having dialogue is one of the most important things, because then it's one-on-one, it's face-to-face in a sense, where I'm actually able to interact with people, and hopefully you're enjoying this. Hopefully everybody watching is enjoying this. But it adds that level of more than just turning on the TV and hoping to find something good. Whereas with this, it's even like regular YouTube. I think one of the reasons why I'm wanting to start more so focusing on the live streaming stuff is because I can make a video and I can edit and I can put some fancy little graphics in there, and I can have good content. But there's no interaction. Whereas with live, there's that discussion, there's the conversation, there's the interaction, and I can make a video every day about some random psychology topic, but I might not be hitting what people want to know about. Or I can make a gaming video and discuss whatever's happening in the game, but it might not be what people are interested in knowing in the game. Whereas with the live stuff, if somebody wants to know something, they can ask it. And granted, I'm very small channel, and my audience is very small. The outreach is certainly not massive compared to many others. But I think I mentioned even earlier where I enjoy that. I like the one-on-one experiences that I've had so far with my YouTube journey, and it's enjoyable for me to be able to bring some entertainment to other people, and it also, like I said, it's touching two passions of mine. If I'm not, I hate to say working, because oftentimes it doesn't feel like working, but if I'm not working with research, then I'm gaming. And yeah, I think meshing the two together is a great way to not only inform more people, because the next thing I'm going to say, I'm going to phrase very delicately, so please give me a moment to articulate this. But I think colleges often have an agenda. Universities often have an agenda. And the trouble with that is anytime you start to stray from that agenda, fucker, it adds conflict. And you're often not able to say what it is you're really wanting to say in the classroom or even in publications, when if you could, people would actually be learning so much more. And it's unfortunate to see that. It's really unfortunate to see that. Whereas the internet and YouTube, not just the internet, but YouTube and this platform, I guess that's a better way to put it. This platform allows the ability to reach out to so many more people that might not have the opportunity to go to college or might not have the opportunity. Will you let me pick you up? Anyway, might not let me, not me specifically, but might not let people have the opportunity to hear about these things or know about these things. And the next thing is going to be very controversial, but you can't trust the media. And that includes even research publication papers or journals. Certainly there's good content, but there's also a lot of bad content. You've really got to pick and choose your way through these things, and it's sad that it's like that. Mainstream media, and I don't mean that in the kooky conspiracy theory way, but mainstream media has such a biased opinion on pretty much everything that they do, and going back to money fueling everything, the sexy topics, the hot topics that they know that's going to make a buck, those are the ones that they're going to talk about most. And it's sad. It really is sad to see it that way. Whereas you have something like YouTube where nobody's monitoring, well, hello NSA, but nobody's like stopping me from saying this. Nobody's not challenging, but nobody's preventing me from oh, that was close. Okay, just had to focus there for a second. Where's the hook? Nobody is making it so I can't get the message that really needs to be put out there. And the hardest part at this point is just searching for it. Because the thing about this kind of stuff is you can look online and find all sorts of great information, and oftentimes it just doesn't have the audience. It doesn't have the amount of people that mainstream media does. And when I say mainstream media, I mean like any news outlet, any big web page, even like these big tech blogs. gaming blog. IGN is a great example. If you don't think IGN has an agenda with what it is they're saying and how they're saying it, look into them a little bit. Not to say that IGN doesn't put out good content, but even to put it to the news. It's not to say that like CNN or Fox or MSNBC or whatever you want to have it. It's not to say that they don't ever put out good content. It's just that, statistically speaking, most of their content is very biased. And I'm not making this a right or a left political statement. I'm saying in general. Look at the stories that the different news agencies run and the focus that they have. Same thing with like IGN or other tech blogs or web pages. Anyway, I'm kind of getting convoluted with where I'm going at with that. But the point that I'm trying to make is that YouTube offers a platform where you can put out a message and you can put out truths that might not otherwise be able to be put out. And the internet is so vast that you can, if you want to fact check this shit, go and look it up. It's a couple Google clicks away. And you can't find that on mainstream media because of the bias that it usually has entailed with it. And I speak to that regarding like psychology research publications as well. To put it into a American politics type example, the psychology world has a very, very left-leaning bias. So, and the funny thing is, professors and researchers will readily admit that, where in the world of psychology, it leans very far to the left. So what ends up happening is you have these editors of these research magazines, these publications, that have this hard-leaning bias to the left. And if somebody does come out with a right-leaning article or a right-leaning finding, it might not ever get published because it contradicts what the editor of the magazine believes. Whether or not their belief is objectionably truthful, whether or not the research that they're rejecting is honest and true and has solid findings, it's just a bias. And politics is just one example of this. You see this bias occur in many different areas. Like even if you're trying to challenge the status quo of an established treatment plan, if that's an established treatment plan, you get held to a standard that might not be objective. Oh man, I'm getting tongue-tied here. Might not be something that can objectively be looked at and tested, I guess is a good way to put it. Just because you're not getting judged based on your the quality of your research. You're getting judged based on whatever it is you found and the bias that came with that. So anyway, the moral of that story is that yeah, mainstream media, so big research publications, news agencies, they all have this bias that you kind of have to contend with. But the internet offers a huge platform where you can find the information that you want to find and find actual truths. It just takes a little bit of hey, somebody's over here. Just takes a little bit of work to try to get past the bullshit, I guess is a good way to say it. And it's unfortunate that we live in a world where we're supposed to be the most free nation, and yet we're stuck in a society where bureaucracy trumps all. The dollar trumps everything, and it's unfortunate. But there are ways. Hey, I found him again. There are ways to get around that. There's definitely ways to find out the truth yourself. And yeah, so my point of all that was, where the fuck did this bitch go? My point of all that was YouTube offers an amazing platform to get the message out, and it's just a matter of getting people to actually hear the message if they want to hear it. But yeah, I'm ranting. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is kind of turned into the topic of tonight. But if anybody has any questions or any comments, do feel free to say them, because I am here to answer them. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep ranting. I could literally go on all night about this. I have I have strong opinions about how bureaucracy is screwing things. Did she? I'm over here. I didn't even see her. Fuck it. I'm focusing more on what I'm saying, and I'm not really paying as much attention to murdering people as I probably should. It's okay. Sometimes the fishies swim away. I've already killed 3 of her fishy friends, and now we only have 1 fishy left. The smart thing to do, what I would do if I was a survivor, is run across the map. So we're going to go to the other side of the map and see if we can find her. Yeah, bureaucracy. Man, I could go all day. It's so tough dealing with, ooh, I keep hitting random lag spikes. Okay, did I see something? No. Okay, I mentioned this earlier, but this game is still in early. I think beta stages. I don't know if it's like late stage alpha. I don't remember, but it's still in the early stages. So there are definitely bugs, and there can definitely be some glitchy gameplay. But that being said, for as early in development as this game is, it is fucking amazing what they've done with it. And it's such a simple concept. Like, literally the entire game is just hunter-killer, essentially. It's, I hear the hatch. There's the hatch. Alright, so the question is, do I guard the hatch, or do I keep trying to hunt her down? Because she's probably looking for the hatch, and if I stay right next to it, then she's going to not come near it. I guess for the time being, I'm going to wait here and see if she does a generator. Thankfully, I can sprint with my chainsaw. I just wish I had high ground nearby. Anyway, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy, yeah. It's troublesome. It's very troublesome how often it steps on everybody's toes that are actually trying to do good work, trying to do legitimate, like, powerful things for not only research but for society. I've had the opportunity of working with a lot of people from European countries that come to America for some big name researchers at facilities that I work at, and yeah, the perspectives that they can give compared to what we deal with in America are very interesting, because the bureaucracy is everywhere. It's kind of in, ooh, I saw you, bitch. In the Western world, I thought I saw her. I don't want to go too far and then she jumps in the damn thing. Anyway, in the Western world, bureaucracy is kind of... Oh, there you are. Fuck, and I missed. God damn it. I think I lost her. Oh, she ran past it. I'll take that. I'm going to focus on trying to catch her for a second. I think I can make it. Okay, there's a hit. I just need one more. Fuck me. Sometimes I think I got it all lined up, and next thing I know... It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There! And right next to the basement. How's that? Yeah, that's the trouble with trying... It's like trying to pat your stomach and like rub your head. You can't really do both at the same time. Gaming and talking about a serious topic is kind of like that too, where when I get deep into what I'm trying to say, I might not be focusing as much on visually what's happening in front of me. But granted, even though she ran away that one time right in front of my face and I didn't see her, I still killed everybody. So I just want to point that out. It wasn't all in vain. I still did pretty okay. not bad for holding a serious topic about money, politics, and how that plays a part in modern psychology research. Let me spend my points real quick, and then I will jump into another game, and I don't have enough for that one. Okay. Yeah, again, if anybody has any questions, comments, anything they want to hear about, anything they want to know about, I am certainly open to redirecting this conversation any which way it needs to go. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep ranting. Kind of seems to be the theme of tonight, is ranting all over the place. Just as a recap, what we've talked about tonight, we've discussed Stanley Milgram and his experiments about authority, and how that ties into, and also, before I go into that, also Dr. Zimbardo's research about the Stanford prison experiment, and how all of that relates to modern ethics in psychology research, and how modern psychology research is actually very much, in my opinion at least, twisted in how it ends up coming out, because you have situations that a lot of good research is just being prevented because it's considered unethical, and it's tough when the ethical standards are so high that you can't often get research approved if you end up hurting somebody's feelings, and you actually have to put it in your study that you profusely apologize to people if you do inadvertently hurt their feelings somehow, let alone do something like Stanley Milgram where you're making them think that they're killing somebody. That's completely unheard of in modern research. But yeah, so we talked about those things and how modern ethics in psychology often have, in my opinion, severely limiting how research occurs. And we also discussed bureaucracy and how it's usually the sexy diseases that get funding. You have entire departments in big universities devoted to the sexy, or what I like to call the sexy diseases, where it's like if you can brand it, if you can make people, if you can make people think that it's the most important thing in the world, then it's going to get funding. And the examples that I used are anorexia and bulimia, and I'm not discrediting that they're serious diseases, but the amount of funding that they get compared to things, for example, like schizophrenia is absolutely insane, where schizophrenia arguably is a much more need to research disease, and also considering the amount of people affected by both the diseases, you have 100 times more money getting pumped into anorexia compared to schizophrenia, and not to mention the treatment that goes into also schizophrenia. Yeah, it's very disproportionate. Ooh, hello. I'm gonna assume that you walked into the corner, or maybe you kept running. Somewhere. It's tough to say where you are. Anyway, yeah, so those are the things that we've discussed tonight so far. If anybody wants to offer a redirect, oh, hello, or suggest a new area for the conversation to go, I'm certainly open to suggestions. Otherwise, I'm going to find something new to rant about, and you're just going to go with it. Fuck, I was hoping if I fell down, I'd be able to whack him in the head on the way down. They're just going to jump down, I know this. There's nowhere else they can go. What I'm hoping is if I start going up the stairs that they'll jump down, but fuck. I'm going to have to chase them. Okay. Sidetracked. Oh my god, how did I fucking miss? I should have stayed up there, I knew it. Yeah, please do like and subscribe. I have videos already posted on my page. I have a few, what do you call it? Psychology talks on my page that I've already posted that I end up going into a few different things. My live streams, I think, predominantly are going to be strictly psychology talks, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, okay, I was like, fuck, where'd he go? This person's good. I'm getting sidetracked because I'm trying to focus on whacking this person. Fuck! God damn it! I thought I had him. Need to break this out of the way. Okay, yeah, so most of my live stuff I think is going to be focused on psychology just because it adds a much more interactive platform where I do have just regular gaming stuff on my channel already posted up. And I do have, oh my god, I don't want to play Ring Around the Rosie, this is retarded. I just gotta go for him. Fucker. Well, at least he got points. Thought I saw a head. Fuck. Alright. That guy was good. Anyway, yeah, so I've got some regular stuff, regular gaming stuff, funny commentary and whatnot posted on my channel. You know, I hate it when they say, oh, you found him, and I don't actually fucking see him. There he is. Anyway, yeah, I got a pretty diverse mix of things, oh my god, on my channel currently. But I like the idea of having an interactive psychology talk. It's much better than, oh, I wanted to kick it. It's much better than just me. Fucker. I'm repeating myself because I'm getting frustrated on this dick. Oh, I take that back. That sounded horrible. There! Fucking hit you in the head. And I'll kick that down even though you're circling around me. I saw you run this way. I see you running this way. Oh, fucker. I know you ran over here. I thought I heard a door, but again, these goddamn generators, sometimes they just sound like one of the doors. Fuck. They're still nearby. I know they're still nearby. I can hear them. The question is where. Fuck it. They did good. I'll let them go. I can probably get somebody easier anyway. And there we go with that damn generator sound. So yeah, anyway, if anybody wants to know anything, again, please do speak up. I'm here as a resource. Otherwise, I'm going to keep bitching about how I'm apparently went from 2 matches of killing everybody to having a match where it looks like I'm not even going to be able to get one. But that's how this game goes. Sometimes you get into a good match, sometimes you don't. But you just got to go with it. I mean, it's all points collected anyway. There's really no win. Well, I suppose you could say that there's winning and losing in this game, but all considering, it's really just about points accumulation until you get to the point where you actually can be competitive. I'm not strong enough with the hillbilly at this point that I can rely on my perks and whatnot to carry me through the map. I like to think that at this point it's all skill. God damn it. Oh well. Fuck me. I'm gonna go to the other one. Hope for the best. Probably not gonna kill anybody this match, but that's okay. Sometimes the fishies get away and you just gotta cast your line and try to catch some fishies the next day. Yeah, so what I was saying about my channel. I have a good mix of videos up right now, but I definitely like the idea of making on the live streamings much more interactive, because then you can learn more, because you can actually tailor it to whatever you guys want to hear and what you guys want to know about. Otherwise, I'm really just ranting about the things that come into my mind. Or I plan out a video and I can add resources, not resources, but references to whatever I'm saying. And that's all fine and dandy to have a more structured video like that. But I feel like learning best occurs when there's dialogue. Like even teaching in classes and whatnot, it ends up placing trying to think how to explain it. It places a constraint on the learning to where it's only whatever the person is saying, and there's not that interaction, that dialogue in order to tease out the idea, in order to put it into a concept, or to put it into a perspective that you might actually be able to understand better were it phrased that way, or were you able to ask questions. So yeah, I love the online format, this YouTube format of being able to actually go in and interact with people and teach people. And even if it's not just teaching, even if it's just entertainment value, strictly entertainment value, I love that. I love that about this. Because I think learning should be fun. If you're interested in something, you're going to learn it 100 times better if you're actually interested and entertained by what's happening in your learning experience. If you're strictly, like, again, to go into the classroom experience, if you're going in there and you're sitting in a classroom and you don't want to be there, or it's 8 o'clock in the morning and you have no interest whatsoever in what's being said, you're not going to learn anything, even if it's a topic that might otherwise interest you. Or it might be taught and phrased in a way that's not going to interest you. Where, again, YouTube, to bring it back full circle, YouTube is just a place where you can put out a message, have it in a... somebody's nearby. In a... fuck. You know what? I'm just going to sit here. Anyway, you can have it put in a way that might actually work to where you can learn. And I think that's what's missing. Oh well. Fuck it. That's what's missing a lot of time in the classroom. And to go back to what I was talking about much earlier, the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy ends up limiting how you can teach and what you can teach and the way you can teach it, even though it might not be the best way to teach it. Speaking of the classroom, whereas in this scenario, in this situation, unrelenting, you recuperate faster. Okay, that's actually sounds kind of good. Anyway, in this setting, with that interaction, with that back and forth dialogue of having a live, pretty much one-on-one audience, the message can be received. And even on videos that I might make and edit and try to have some kind of entertainment value, it's still a back and forth dialogue in a sense, or it's stated in a way that's not just regurgitating a textbook. I've been in the classroom setting where the guidelines are pretty much, hey, you need to have this textbook. Here's your textbook, and then I'm going to lecture you on everything that Chapter 1 says. And that's not learning. That's really not learning, because sure, whoever wrote the textbook, and I know a few people who've written textbooks, might understand it explained that way. Oftentimes, these people that are writing the textbooks are... they've done research and they've not had that personal interaction with younger folk that's required to actually teach somebody of the undergraduate age, the 18 to say 24-year-old. If you're just repeating something and making wisecrack jokes that a 60-year-old is going to know, then yeah, it's just that this disconnect that ends up happening in the classroom. And then when you're just regurgitating a book, it's like, oh, well, somebody's nearby. Anyway, when you're just regurgitating from a book, yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not fun. It's miserable. And not only, and little known fact, but not only is it miserable for the person that's sitting in the classroom, it's miserable for the person trying to teach it too. Because nobody wants to go up and stand in front of, say, 100 people and just spit out random knowledge from a book. And there's things that you can do to make a class interesting. Let me just read what you said real quick. Wait a minute. You know, I've wondered that because I do keep somebody in the hatch for my own personal entertainment. Really? How did that fucking miss? How did that miss? Come on, Dwight. Come here. You're gonna die anyway. Fuck it. I'm going through the window. Alright. I'm gonna try to chase this down. Because I just... one little fishy is good. One little fishy is good. Go through the window. Go through the window. There you go. Again, with the little bit of glitchiness. Come to my arms. Come to my waiting arms. There he is. There you. I got you now. Yep, you're mine. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I ranted, and I don't quite remember where I left off. So, yeah, anybody has any questions, do not feel any don't hesitate to interrupt me, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep on going about all the shit that I'm talking about, and I get, whoa, I'll take that. Did everybody disconnect? Wow, easy win on that one. I'm gonna get shit points, but you know what? I'll take it. Yeah, so I can rant all day about this stuff. So if anybody wants to know anything specific, please interrupt me. Please ask questions. If anything that I've said interests you and you want to know more, jump in. Seriously, just jump in and ask. What was I saying? Oh, so what I was talking about, though, is, yeah, it's boring to stand in front of a class, for example, and have to teach it a certain way. And there's certain flares and certain things that you can throw in there to try to make it more interesting. And absolutely, those things help. But they're not the end-all be-all, because you're still limited to a certain criteria. And I could make a very political statement related to public schools and forced criteria, but I'm not quite going to go there at the moment. I'll stick to strictly speaking about university life, not high school and grade school. But there's certainly those limitations there as well. But when you're dealing with college, and I'll strictly keep it referring to college, the issues are more difficult because you're dealing with adults. You're dealing with people over the age of 18 who have a mind of their own, who are there looking for an education, looking to learn. And if you're just force-feeding crap down their throats that they, in a format rather, that they don't want to know, it makes it so hard to actually get an interesting topic out there. So in my roundabout, ranty way, I just kind of explained again why I'm really thrilled about the opportunity to be able to, especially live stream on YouTube, and why I'm so thrilled about actually bringing what I'm hoping to bring to YouTube in an entertaining format. Because if I can get the message out about whatever anybody wants to know, or some of the things that pop into my mind, in an entertaining fashion, then fuck, I'm doing my job. I'm so thrilled. I'm wanting to get the message out about not just psychology, but just about truth in general. It's so refreshing to be able to actually come in and talk to people and engage with people and tell them some of the things that they won't know about behind the scenes that happen in not just college life and university life, but also psychology specifically, and how it relates to policy. Because what a lot of people don't realize is how a lot of these bureaucracies are so intertwined. Like, and I don't mean this to sound like kooky conspiracy theory, but like literally the government has its hands in everything. The government has its hands in education. The government has its hands in healthcare. The government has its hand in this and that. But it's all being driven by a bureaucratic agenda. And it's all intertwined in how research drives policy. That's another thing I was talking about, how research drives policy. And the trouble is when the bureaucracy is funding the research, it's not necessarily spitting out research that would be the most beneficial or would be the most thrilling to society. Or I guess beneficial is probably a better way to put it. You have a situation where, and I'm trying to find a very delicate way of phrasing this because I don't want it to sound conspiracy theory-like, but you have money influencing exactly what's being researched. And again, I'm not discrediting what the money is going towards, because it's all bad diseases. When you're talking clinical, it's all bad diseases that are being researched. It's just disproportionate how much money goes into certain areas of research compared to others. Somebody is nearby. Yeah, I won't go too much into that. I think most of this conversation has rested on the bureaucracy and how that's playing a part. So I won't touch too much more on that because I think I'm going in a circle there. But yeah, policy. I do want to talk about policy a little bit. Because when you start to get into policy, I wasn't expecting two people to be there. When you start to get into discussing policy, it makes it difficult because you're literally talking about who's paying for it, where the money's coming from, how it's getting funded, how it's getting executed. Come on, just drop it. There you go. Yeah, and then it starts becoming... Fuck. Starts becoming an issue of, why is it happening? Why is that being funded over something else? And I mentioned, like, the sexy aspect to it, where you have sexy diseases. And that certainly plays a part. It certainly makes it much more intriguing to, say, a researcher to start tailoring their entire lab, their entire area of research into these sexy diseases. But it also, going back to discussing the bias aspect, it also makes it difficult because you have a situation where, I'm trying to think of a good example here. Okay, a great example, child psychology. Child psychology is so big. Every department will have a huge, massive, like super massive child psych, learning disability, whatever, autism, ADHD. I'm trying to think of, like, the big things that you usually hear about in psych departments. You'll have labs that are focused entirely on that, and they get shit ton of money. Here's by the school bus. I hear somebody over here, but I didn't actually see anybody. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody. And I agree. You need to take somebody to school with the chainsaw. It's been a few matches since I've been able to get a clear shot with the chainsaw. And that's very unfortunate. I like the chainsaw a lot. My little 50cc motocross mini bike chainsaw. Anyway, so what, lost my train of thought. So where I was going at with that, though, is, you have these departments that are entirely funded about that, and that kind of goes into, the thing that I was saying earlier about bias, where, one of the difficulties with that is it's appealing to go into research, in those areas. And one of the things about psychology is you have a very large, disproportionate amount of, female psychologists, or female, even among the undergraduate population. I think it's like 2 to 1, or yeah, about 2 to 1. So it's 2 women to every 1 male that are in psychology. In the graduate level, it's in that same realm, maybe not as bad. And I'm not talking. Lost him. Anyway, I'm not talking like professors, because you talk about the higher end professors, and there's definitely a lot. It's probably a 1-to-1 mix where you have a lot of men, a lot of women, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that you have these 60-year-old professors who've been there forever. But the current population of students that are going to grad school and going into undergraduate and so forth are disproportionately female, and females have a much more maternal instinct. Obviously, females have a more maternal instinct than men. But what it ends up doing is you have overpopulation in, say, research areas such as child psychology. So you have, trying to put this in a good example, you might have a class, say, called Psychology of Law, or Psychology, oh no, actually I got a good example, Social Psychology. So you'll have a class called Social Psychology, and you'll have a full class of about maybe 100 people that actually sign up for it and take it, and you might have 1 or 2 classes like that taught in the semester. But then you go into child psych, and there's going to be 3 or 4 different child psych classes with like 150, 200 people, and they're all going to be completely full. And everybody's interested in going to do the child psych class, and yet, yeah, it's disproportionate, and the area of research is the bias that starts going involved in it. It gets tricky. It gets really tricky. And then the ethics. It all ties in. It all starts to overlap with fucker. It all starts to overlap in all of the things that I'm saying, because it all boils back down to the bureaucracy of money driving research. And certainly not. I'm not discrediting the fact that there are people interested in, say, child psych. But, yeah, it's just difficult. It's difficult to walk the fine line between, Goddamn. Did he juke me? Oh, fuck. I think that's the second time I've lost that same dude, too. I'm over here trying to have a conversation with you guys, and I keep losing these people. But that's fine. I'd rather talk about this stuff and get good information out there compared to scoring points in this game. As long as the game is entertaining while I'm fucking up, then that's all that's important. So yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, policy. So bureaucracy is what ends up driving the policy, and it's, again, I'm not saying that child psychology, for example, isn't important. It's very important, but it's disproportionately represented compared to other fields and other areas. And that's where the difficulty comes in. Is this the same fucking dude that I've been hitting? Come on. I gotta get at least 1 fishy. Gotta get at least 1 fishy. Maybe. Oh, thank God I got a chainsaw. I had to get at least 1. At least 1. So this means that as long as I can get to a hook... Where's a hook? Here's a hook. That's probably the closest. As long as I can get 1 fishy, I will be happy. It's going to be tough, because I'm also right next to the door, which means everybody's going to be piling next to the door. But maybe I can get 2 fishies, because somebody's going to come for the door. I just need to get a clear shot at my little fishy, in the hopes that somebody also tries to come and get them. Okay, so that's a good spot. So, what was I saying? Policy. Yeah, bureaucracy ends up driving policy, and it's so tough. It gets so fucking tough, because you end up, for me at least, it's like all of these ideas and get shot down, and it's like, well, you end up quoting in classroom all of these different studies that drove all of these amazing areas of research, and now you don't want to research those areas? And then the biases start coming in. It's all circular. But the point being, it all ends up going back to money, bureaucracy driving the research. and it's unfortunate. And then you have random people in the bureaucracy trying to struggle to make a difference and make some kind of policy change. And it gets circular. It gets tough. And I think I fucking lost everybody. How the fuck did that happen? I can't believe it. I'm over here trying to talk, and I think I fucking lost them all. God damn it. Well, they're still nearby. I can still hear them. Fuck. Yep, there she is. Surprised she didn't pull that down. Fuck. Oh, she juked me. She juked me good. And she probably was intentionally using... She's probably intentionally the bait to get me away from the door. Ah, damn it. Fuck me. I'm not doing too good this game. That's okay. Again, I'd rather focus on the conversation, and it would be nice to score a bajillion points and kill everybody all the time, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll make do with what we got. And I'm pretty sure everybody else is going to run to that other door, because I don't hear anybody nearby. Yeah, the other door just opened, so that's probably going to be it's probably going to be the end of the match, which is fine. I would rather shed some knowledge onto everybody than, like I said, make a bajillion points and kill everybody. Well, they didn't escape. They're right here. But where? God damn it. Did they... Maybe they did escape. Fuck. That's fine. There we go. Alright, disgraceful defeat. I will take it, because I thought the conversation during this match was actually pretty good. And I did get a lot of points for other things. Unfortunately, though, I think that might have... Yeah, looking at the time, I think that's going to have been the last match that I'm going to play for tonight. So thank you, everybody, for watching. And if you would like to become a member of the Zedite tribe, then I kindly ask you to please flex your muscle a little bit and hit that subscribe button. I plan on doing some live streaming probably just about every night during the week. I'm not quite sure exactly how I'm going to work out the live streaming schedule, but I feel like I'm liking the live streaming. I'm liking it. I think it's a much better platform to actually get the message that I want to across. And in addition to that, I think that it adds a good focal point, and my videos that I post during the week, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those will kind of be supplemental to the live streams, and it adds for, in general, a good little roundabout way of posting content, getting the message across, and hopefully adding some bit of entertainment, and getting out there the kind of humor and the kind of values that I would like to do. And JTH, I would like to personally thank you, because you've stuck with me for quite a while now. And hopefully you found this entertaining, and yeah, I plan on doing this often. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night. Take it easy.